Three, two, one, go!
Hey, you started that. Remember when we used to do that? Sync that up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to hold back tears right now.
Dun, dun, dun,
Um, Jimmy the Chaos X Silencer, the man, the mystery, the legend,
Ooh, I like the mystery.
is no longer on this podcast. We got in a after the episode that I did solo. I said enough's enough. We got in a huge, massive, beefy, stanky, lickety argument, and we just said, F it, he's not in. Actually, no, we both had a realistic heart-to-heart, man-to-man. He felt like it. This has been coming for a while, just because he has way too much stuff going on. And when he can only show up, every one out of every 5 or 6 episodes for you guys, it's just not fair for you, and it's not fair for the people that show up every single episode. And we know that he's just kind of been, I'm not gonna say on eggshells, because it's not like he's in trouble. I'm totally fine with if he shows up or not. Some of the back end stuff, just business wise, just doesn't make sense when me and Colby put an hour aside every single day and show up and do the show. So maybe we'll actually, we probably should have him on here just to say goodbye. Not today though.
Just to bring him back for episode 200.
Episode 200, we'll do a bring back.
He also has a invitation for any time he wanted to come back whenever he had a spare hour.
Yeah, so nothing's necessarily going to change. It's just there's no expectations.
That's the good way of looking at it.
And then, because me and Colby, we're the only ones that actually live near each other. Like, we have some ideas that we just never necessarily, executed, because when we want to go do something, one of our ideas, what are Jimmy and Burns going to do? Just kind of, hey, you guys are out of this idea, And I mean, the viewers can tell, there's 2 out of the 4 people that are way more into it than the other 2. And it's not a knock on Jimmy. Burns, on the other hand,
that's a conversation that hasn't really happened yet, but
yeah. Burns,
technically it happened. He just skipped it and now is sitting there waiting for
a link to hop on. But so basically, we talked in our Skype. We have a Skype between us 4. I laid everything out there. Jimmy sat there, responded. He was 100% cool with it. He said, "Duh, it makes sense." Me and him still stream. We streamed with. Stop sending me messages, Praveen. Me and Jimmy still streamed with each other. Awkwardly. It was super. No, it wasn't awkward. He totally gets it. He's a business savvy dude. Burns, on the other hand, we have this heart-to-heart conversation, and not a fucking peep until this morning. Where basically my conversation was like, "Hey, me and Colby are taking the show over. Like we show up, yada yada yada." And Burns didn't read any of the shit, and he just puts in the chat what time we're streaming, or not streaming, what time we filming. So that's that. Me and Burns, Me and Burns and Colby are still going to talk about it after the show and kind of see where he's at. He said he still wants to do the show, but that doesn't matter what you want to do. If you don't show up and put your part in, then you're not going to be on the show.
Well, and to circle back to another thing that a lot of people have been commenting on and seeing, we've been starting to post them on Twitter. We've been posting them all on the Dude Comedy Facebook page, which is actually still the PTFO page. Kyle will rant about why that name won't switch another day. Facebook. But we've been trying to do different things where it's maybe on a Monday and a Friday we record, or Thursday we record the show, but Tuesday and Wednesday there's still stuff that will catch our attention on the internet or all that kind of stuff. So we just kind of have been making these little short clip videos where we'll come on and do, the other day we did one about this dude his whole content is just to make people awkward in situations where they're eating their food and he'll sit at the table and just be in their face. That wasn't something that we wanted to wait until Friday to talk about on the podcast. Plus, it's a visual thing. So we started these new shows and stuff, and it's getting traction. But we just didn't know if Jimmy wanted to, maybe hop on some of those. He obviously couldn't. And we don't know what the hell Burns wants to do.
Yeah, so. And it's just from a business standpoint, it's Jimmy actually did do a lot of the back end stuff, arranging all the ads and whatnot. But the other Burns just, all he had to do is show up. But yeah, so we'll just end that at that. And It's not awkward between any of us. We're all friends. It just business wise, it didn't necessarily make sense for two people who want to take the show, and it's kind of getting stagnant. We're gonna be on it, like the show's getting stagnant. Like something fucking has to happen, and it can't happen as a core of us four when Jimmy is just doing 100 things a day, and Burns can't respond to a serious conversation, in our only form of contact, for 5 days. So
yeah. So, let's just to nail it one more time. It's nothing against Jimmy. Was 100% like, I get it, no problem. We want to make this something that we're producing some sort of content 5 days a week, whether it be those short videos, Twitter videos, whatever it is. And you can't do that you could do that if two of us want to do it.
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't make sense to, the other two just to sit there. It would just be awkward later down the road. So,
yep.
That's that part. Let's get right into a topic. You want to get right into
this topic's going to consume the show.
I think so too. And I think that this is a huge case of what's the word? Not white knighting, but like the pitchfork, right?
Oh,
but this is like pitchfork on both sides. So do you want to lay out the story? You want me to?
You can do it.
Okay, I'm gonna lay it out first, just as basic as the story is. Then we'll kind of get into more of the details that came out on both sides. So the first video that everyone was talking about was actually retweeted by Keemstar, and he's he's the source in the CNN article, the Newsweek article, all these like big publications. So the video is a Fortnite streamer, 15 guys left in his game, and his wife's like, "Come on, I need help. I need help. I need help." He's like, "Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'll be out there in a little bit," and then it's definitely some back and forth verbal altercation going on. Then he gets up and he goes off of frame, and you hear what sounds like a hit or a slap or a push or there's definitely a noise followed up by her yelling, screaming, and then the kids, at least one of the kids, yelling and screaming. And then the title of like the Twitch video or Twitter video was like, "Fortnite streamer caught abusing his girlfriend on stream." So obviously there's the shock factor in that headline, and that's the story that goes out there. It blows up.
Is that the one Keemstar posted?
Yes.
Was the edited one?
I shouldn't say edited. It was just, it left out this first part that we're going to talk about. And then, so we'll start now with, that's the story. We'll get Kyle's opinion on that. And then I'm going to kind of go back and bring in, there's two more parts of the story that now have come out after everyone started pitchforking this dude, dossing him, finding out where he's from, what's his real name, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, here we go. Now we're here.
So basically the first video I saw, which is why and obviously I like to get a little aggressive with my standpoints on some things, but the first video I saw with this Mr. Death Moth, is basically, I saw the video where he's sitting there gaming, and to me, I mean, so was the wife pregnant?
I think she's pregnant, and they have two kids at home.
Yes, I mean, to me, she sounded like she was belligerent at first. Maybe she was just so upset because his ass was sitting in there gaming while the two kids were. God damn, Praveen, quit messaging me. So his ass was just sitting in there gaming while she's taking care of the kids and doing all the household stuff, was probably what was going on. But the motherfucker had 15 people left. Good chance at a victory royale. And she basically is saying, get out here now, starts throwing some shit. I believe she hits him, I want to say.
Police report says no.
Says no?
Originally, so to backtrack just a little bit, then another video came out that didn't have the hit on it, but it showed her throwing stuff at him. And he says, if you keep throwing shit at me, I'm going to throw stuff at you. Then supposedly she slaps him, and then that's when he gets out of frame, whatever, and does it. But the police report, she was originally charged, and then he didn't press charges on her for hitting her. And then also he was, when he got the charges pressed, he ran away from the cops. He fled. So nothing says innocent like running from the cops when you find out they're coming for you. So originally, it did say that she did hit him. There's that video that the guy sent us on Twitter today, which shows the cardboard box fly into the screen and hit him and all that.
Isn't it crazy that we're like, it's crazy how much, like, if you would have just heard this as story without the video, like you wouldn't even, like, it's same thing with like the NFL stuff. You hear the story and you're like, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but then you see the video and you're like, then fucking people just come out of the woodwork and just pitchfork the shit out of this. And so my stance on this, and it's actually not going to be as aggressive as you might think. Like, I think it was fucked up that he hit her because it was in front of the kids. Like, regardless of what's happening, it's not a high stress situation. It's not like she was throwing shit at him. She might have slapped him once or whatever. But you don't fucking, like, this dude is insane. Something's wrong. Something's off with him to not think that, hey, like, I should probably turn off my stream before pimp slapping my wife who's pregnant. Like,
Yeah.
And another thing is, she's pregnant. Like, no matter what she does, you can't fucking hit your wife when she's pregnant. Like, not necessarily like him slapping her will hurt anything, but that's like a high stress situation. High stress situations with pregnant women, some bad stuff can happen, such as miscarriage.
And the kid is literally right there watching.
And the kid is literally right there watching. Now, it's hard for him to say, I was defending myself. I'm sorry. So I watched this Bill Burr thing basically talking about, like, because it's not just plain and simple, like, he hit her for no reason at all. He didn't fucking just walk in the room and say, bitch, and punch her, Like, she pestered him and then physically hit him with something multiple times. And I'm not saying that's okay. Like, his situation is definitely not okay. In front of the kids are crying. She's pregnant, like, you don't fucking do it. And even if those things didn't exist, I don't know for this situation that you necessarily do that either, because it wasn't she attacking him. She did hit him with a couple things, possibly slapped him, but I don't think that's a reason to, like, I don't know. I don't think you go straight to the slap, buddy. But I also don't, I think that the shitty part of all this is just the kid part. To me, both those parents are basically in the same boat. Like, you don't just fucking...
Yeah.
Like, if my nanny came in here right now who is pregnant and she started fucking doing that shit to me, like, and she was just throwing stuff and like saying, get out here, like, just being weird, I'd probably fucking slap her to slap some sense into her. And even though I kind of just, and actually I probably, my kids and stuff are here, so maybe I wouldn't. And she's pregnant, but I feel like people are not open to that possibility that is maybe okay. Like, it's, I don't know, equality and everything is like, everybody's about like women equality and stuff. But then when something like this happens, it's like, no matter what, the woman is completely innocent. And like I said, I don't agree with this particular slap at all. And I would tell you if I'm like, fuck it, like, she deserved it. I don't necessarily think, you got to think about your kids in the house. You got, like, right in front of your kids, like, your kid is fucking crying because he just witnessed you slap the shit out of the mom,
And then he did it again.
Did he do it twice?
Yeah, he slaps her twice. He gets up, sits back down, then goes and hits her again.
Yeah, so
while the commotion is going, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I completely see where it's just a bad situation on both parts. Obviously escalated to the 10 power by the dude actually hitting his wife, But then to go back to what you're saying about the video stuff, it is crazy to think, all right, like, this is messed up, but it's crazy to think that if this guy wasn't a streamer, would there ever, like, there probably wouldn't have been charges. She probably wouldn't have said anything. Like, this is something it's a problem, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's crazy to think that how this like happened. And then it's almost like the Kareem Hunt thing. Like, people have probably kicked and hit chicks worse in hotel, even just
they
hotel
just haven't
lobbies.
got caught. But there's been stories. Yeah. They just haven't, like Kareem Hunt, there's stories with no videos. But to me, this situation is minor. As massive of news it was, it's fucking minor. Like, people are going to label him as like an abuser when they're both abusers, but she is going to be like basically scot-free. But they are both, and I don't know if it's hard for me to just say, yeah, that dude's an abuser. Like, does he just get home one day and dinner's not made and he hits his wife? I fucking doubt. I really doubt that he's that type of guy. I do not think he is that type of guy. He was fucking trying. I mean, we've all been there trying to win a damn Fortnite game or whatever game, and like somebody's just not like let the fuck off his case, and then you start. Then she's the one who turned it physical, and that's just the. And as much as I don't agree with him doing that, the law should fucking care. The law should come into play for that. And I don't think it will for his case, and he's going to get extremely fucked. His gaming career is over. His personal life is over.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, this is to me is minor. This is fucking minor. Who's the football player who throws his girl on a bed of guns?
Greg Hardy, and then played the next season.
Greg Hardy. Now that's a story, but if you saw that shit, oh my gosh! Like this dude is fighting in the UFC right now. He's just got his first UFC fight.
You've heard the Frank Clark story. I think I talked about it on the Hunt one, where Frank Clark literally was seconds away from like choking his pregnant girlfriend to death, and then slapped her 5-year-old brother like on the way out of the hotel. Then the guy that came to intervene, like just like, hey, what's going on in here, in the hotel? He knocked that guy out.
Imagine if that video was out.
He wouldn't be the starting D line about to get a max contract from the Seahawks. Like this guy's gonna get a max contract because there's no video. And I'm not here to say like what's fair and not fair, because people are just assholes and like messed up everywhere. Like there's probably way more domestic violence, these football players that just don't get caught. I mean, look at remember John Brown or Josh Brown, the kicker? Josh Brown. That story came out. It's almost like the Urban Meyer football coach one, where it's like she told people that her husband was bad and was abusing her and all this stuff, and people just didn't like do anything about it because there wasn't really quote unquote proof. But there's way more proof in that than there is in the Greg Hardy or whatever like stories. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
But that's what's like some of the stuff you hear, like when you just hear it, like it could be 100% true, but there's always just like that doubt. Like, did it really go like that? I mean, a high tense situation, like it could have been worse. It could have been not as bad. But this situation to me is fucking minor. Like, it's not like the dude is obviously has something off. Just to think, you know, I don't know how many people are in a stream. I doubt that many, but to just think like, fuck this. I'm just like, if Rachel started coming in here and like fighting with me, first thing I'm doing is turning shit off. Not saying because I'm gonna fucking hit her, more because like why, like you don't want your audience seeing like that side, you know, like the like argumentative side with your wife. Like
well, it's just a So let's take the abuse out. Let's say just for a scenario here. Let's take the abuse out, right? You don't want to broadcast even just that side of an argument, because again, with kids in front and like
and that's why it's way over the top to me.
And it's another thing like domestic violence. I think gets it's such a buzzword that people like on the liberal side like to throw around. Like Kareem Hunt, they were calling that domestic violence when technically he didn't know the girl, so it's not domestic violence. But like I also think that like domestic violence technically was going on way before this. Like she probably could have reported some. There's no way this is the first time like he's done.
No.
I know what you're saying too about like he doesn't just come home one day and like where's dinner and slap her. But there's definitely like you don't go 0 to 100 to like slap your wife who's pregnant in the face.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean.
And also kind of, you notice how she says in the video, she says like not in the face or something. It's to when I heard that, I'm like, did they have like an inside agreement, like when they're hitting each other to not hit each other in the face? You know, because because it's not like that was the first time they ever touch each other. Like if you're gonna sit there and like throw shit at your husband or whatever boyfriend, like it's not the first time you've done.
Sorry, audio listeners, that was a bad burp right in the mic.
It's a juicy one. It's not the first time you've done that. Now let's just take a set. Okay, so pretend that this dude did not slap her. Okay. Pretend it was just the footage of her throwing shit, and then she came in and slapped him. Maybe not super hard, just, you know, it's just a normal slap. Would we even be talking about this shit? Fuck no.
Well, let's go to the Drake concert, right? Remember when that girl was slapping her boyfriend, and then my wife went to like the who we thought was security and was like, these guys are fighting over here.
Was
do
I
you guys
there?
want to stop this? Yeah. And she's like, do you guys want to stop this? And then they were like pushing at each other, and she was like slapping him in the face. And the guy walked over and was like, there's nothing really much I can do here. Like, I'm just beverage support, like beverage security, you know, like
Yeah, but you
I'll
have a
call
radio.
yeah, he's like, I'll call security. But it was just like, in that situation, all right, I need to phrase this right. But if it was the dude, this was a big guy. He was like probably 6'6", security like looking guy, and he walked over there, and the dude was getting slapped like literally steps away from us, and then like they're pushing each other back and forth. He's like, nothing I can do. But if he was just like,
If it was the other way around, that dude's getting knocked out.
yeah, it's just like, I'm not justifying it as like, yeah, I mean, she should have been stopped though. Yeah.
So it's kind of a similar situation here, and we're kind of get off this abuse thing. But so I just said, well, if it was reverse rules, it would have been like that, which I'm totally okay. I don't think that's the way to look at it, to just be like your only justification to be like, well, if that was flipped, nobody would care, so they shouldn't care about this. Like, I don't necessarily look at it like that. But so I posted what did we post? Oh, so it's the video. You guys might have seen it. It's a Dine Dash. What's it called? Not Dine Dash.
What is it freaking called?
Like Dash something. It's where the delivery service for like people. It's a company where you can like order like
what
delivery McDonald's who doesn't have their own delivery driver. Something Dash.
DoorDash.
So this video for DoorDash, I wish I could. We don't need to see it. Basically, a DoorDash delivery driver delivers McDonald's to these three teens. But the McFlurry, as fucking usual, the McFlurry machine wasn't working, so the DoorDash delivery guy couldn't deliver the McFlurry. And when something like that happens, the people who ordered it are supposed to get the refund through the app. So basically, this delivery guy who's very socially awkward is getting pestered by these three teens saying, hey, you need to refund us right now. And he explains to them, you have to do it through the app. I can't refund you. But they keep going with it and force this guy to refund them $4 of his own money. So that's basically the hot video from yesterday, right? And it turns out the three teens are black. Okay. The delivery driver's white. So I posted an article to it on Facebook, and my mainly white Facebook page, lots of the top comments were like, oh my gosh, if this guy was black and that guy was white, like this would be all about race, all about everything. And sometimes when people start thinking of like through like a race lens, they totally disregard that these are just fucking shitty teenagers like we've all been. Like, I even got in there, I'm like, fuck, when I was in junior high, I would throw rocks at cars on a 50-mile-per-hour highway. Like, would somebody like look at that? And so lots of people are like, oh my, like this would be all over the news if it was white or black, or like if the driver was black and the teens were white. But it's just crazy to me how people instantly just go race, and then they get upset because they say, if it was this way, then then they would be doing this. So that's like justification for them to say, like, basically this is all race and like fuck black people. That's basically what it turned into. And I'm like, dude, it's not about race. It's just a piece of shit teenager. Like, we've all been piece of shit teen. Colby used to sell weed in college, not really a teenager, but basically a teenager. Like, not that makes him a piece of shit, but we've all done stupid shit in our younger days, and that's all I kind of saw it as.
I was good at it too, by the way.
But goddamn, dude, the comment section was just all about like the justification of if the driver was black and the other people were white. Like, get the fuck off race. Like, race literally has nothing to do with it.
I think that I think Twitter and Reddit have made what we talked about, how Reddit's just toxic, but I think it's weird how quick people will find like a stance on something before knowing like the whole thing, just because like to take a video like that and to be like, I can't have it in this context. I need to make this about what if it was this.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's what
it
is. How do you look at
yeah.
shit like that? You know, like, well, what
I
if
mean,
this guy was black, that guy was brown, and then this? You know, it's like
you could do that. Like, so let's take. I'm gonna make something up right here, and let's see how someone could spin it. All right. This is what I'm gonna do. Let's say that a group of people are protesting a Walmart item because it was too religious and it's a Christmas item, right? Let's just say that was going on.
yeah.
How easy do you think, this just came to me, how easy could you spin that 3 different ways for people arguing?
Then you go
ways?
start finding pictures of other shit. Others. There's just so many things that you can just.
Yeah. I already could just see it. You could be like, oh, well, this store sells this. And then you have people saying that it's not a Walmart problem. It's an all store problem. And then you would have people being like, oh, they need to remove all of this stuff. It's just,
Yeah.
you can
Well,
make.
then you're like, well, if you're removing this, then you're going to have to remove that. The next thing you know, there's fucking 25% of the products left at Walmart. But it's just, I always used to say on my YouTube channel, it's like, you can't make everybody happy. Some people want one thing, some people want the other. You literally cannot make everybody happy. So the goal is to make the majority of them happy without attempting to offend
the other majority.
The minority, too much. But it's like there's two, even on our show, when there was 4 people, like there's 4 different opinions from 4 people who have 4 different tastes, and that's just 4 fucking people. Imagine when you're putting yourself on a platform with millions and millions of views. That's literally out of the million people, not one single person has the same exact outlook or, opinions as somebody else. And it's just trying to make too many fucking people happy. But I was just blown away from my comment section. That was just like, and people do it all the time though for race. Like when there's things that happen, there's, let's just say, I don't know. There's lots of things that happen where somebody to get so fired up but what if this guy was black? Well, so you're going to care more about something just because you say, what if it was this scenario, Like the video had nothing to do with race. These dudes weren't like, race doesn't even come into any, and usually for me, sometimes I take a different stand. Race literally, it's just a dude who got, swindled for $4. What they did take into it, and if they knew that he had something wrong with him socially, he was like a special needs guy. That's what they took into account. Had nothing to do with race. Me throwing rocks on a freeway, a 50-mile-per-hour freeway, is way shittier than what these kids did, and that had nothing to do with race. It's just being a shitty fucking teenager, which we all have been, at one point or another. Have been at the point,
I want to spin this into just another perfect. It's just crazy how this is all lining up. And we've talked about this before, and I'm sorry for the people who are going to be like, you've already talked about this. I got to bring it up again. And again, Kyle and I see this on the same side of this, and I feel like this is the logical side that we sit on. Colin Kaepernick didn't get a call from the Redskins when they needed a new quarterback. People are outraged because they also signed Reuben Foster. I need to explain something to these people who don't understand football and logic, right? The quarterback position is the hardest position on the team. To take somebody who hasn't played in 2 years now, I think, maybe 3, and just be like, hey, bud, why don't you come in and just jump out here and play our game we need to win against the Giants like tomorrow. It's a very bad idea to do that with anybody. So they brought in Mark Sanchez, who has played in the last couple of years, been a backup, knew the offense. Oh, by the way, this guy didn't know the offense. So he would have had to have learned an offense in 6 days and then also learn the Giants' defensive schemes to use his new offense. It's just logically a nightmare, right? But let me.
That's just from a playing standpoint.
Now that's perfect. You led right into my next point. That's just the football standpoint. Now here's the logic standpoint. This dude is suing the NFL for saying that they colluded against him. So logically, why would you bring somebody in to the company, the system that he's trying to take down? He's trying to sue him for a shitload of money.
So
Like
they're gonna pay. The NFL would be paying him to play.
But then part of me thinks like, would he come play? He's about to most likely at least settle some type of case that there was something if he goes to trial that they colluded against him for taking a knee or whatever. But logically, from the football standpoint, you don't bring a guy in who hasn't played forever when you need to go. Like if they won that game last night or yesterday, they ended up getting blown out, by the way. But if they win that game, they still have a winning record and have a chance to make the playoffs. Do you figure out the quarterback next week? Well, they didn't even do that.
And he's just.
Oh, no. Thank you.
And he's just a massive distraction. And he's just a full-blown fucking douchebag. Not because of his race or anything. He's a douchebag. 100% douchebag.
He took the character turn halfway through his career where...
I used to like him when he was at Nevada.
Yeah, then a lot of people forget that he was like... He got paid 200, what? Like $100-something million and just became a tool. Yeah. And then started taking a knee and being that guy and donating money so people like him. But I'm saying like logical, logistics, brain, use your brain. You don't... If you work at McDonald's... And there's a guy who worked at McDonald's 2 years ago who was really good at his job, but he got fired and made a huge scene about it. And not after making a huge scene about it was like,
I'm suing McDonald's.
Fuck you, McDonald's. I'm going to sue you now for a lot of money because you guys don't want me back. Would you want to go hire that guy back at McDonald's? Hell no. But because he's on this platform and Twitter and everything that it is nowadays, you have people who don't understand the simple logics of football being like, oh, it's not fair. He doesn't get a shot. Reuben Foster gets a shot because if he gets proven innocent, you can plug that guy out there tomorrow and he'll make 11 tackles.
Yeah, but the thing is, and then people, it's all a huge race thing. Like people are like, look at Colin Kaepernick. It's because he's black. Let alone they have all these other black dudes that just are doing crazy stuff that they're still letting play. Huh? Yeah, it's all because you're black, buddy. No, it's because you're a cunt. Like, I don't think the NFL necessarily even cares about the kneeling part. Who cares? Kneel all you want. You're just a fucking cunt. I don't think it was
ever the NFL's problem. I think that it was Trump made a big deal out of it, so it pissed off a bunch of people that were like, can't knee anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a cunt. Like, and that's what's annoying. Like, okay, whatever, do your movement and stuff. That doesn't mean you're not a cunt. Like, I hate when people just say, like, he's awesome, like, he's the leader of this movement. You got the leader of this movement, fighting for, people lower on the social totem pole. And he's the dude that literally made over $100 million. And he's like, you pick the biggest douchebag to lead your movement.
All right, I need to just bring this, just to tie this up. This is not just Kyle and mine, our opinion. This is an ESPN article that was published by Adam Schefter, April 13th of this year, 2018. Seahawks postponed visit after Colin Kaepernick said he won't stop kneeing during the anthem. So after arranging for Colin Kaepernick to work out with the Seahawks, by the way, he hasn't worked out in a year for a team officials postponed the trip when the quarterback decided to say he would or wouldn't stop kneeing during the national anthem next season. They were still considering bringing him for a tryout, but no decisions are final. And then the Seahawks went and signed another backup quarterback, who, by the way, was black.
Yeah.
And now that is what's being thrown into the lawsuit, too, that it's like the Seahawks wouldn't sign him because this. You know what? They probably didn't sign him because there was already so much bad press just from bringing him in for a tryout. What's the point, man?
Yeah, because, I mean, I remember Tim Tebow pretty much not getting backup jobs because he was a massive distraction.
That's exactly why.
A little bit different type of situation. But
Johnny, too. Johnny as well.
Yeah. They're massive distractions. So why would you, I mean, I don't know. If you brought Colin Kaepernick in to play on your team, like you would get a massively rated game for the worst.
I don't know if I know there's like no such thing as bad press, but I feel like the NFL at this point probably would lean more towards the sides of disagreeing with that, with like Kareem Hunt, Reuben Foster, all the stuff they've had in the past. And you could argue what he's doing is admirable and he's trying to do the right thing, but the way he did it with the pig socks and, speaking louder than everyone else in the argument just to get his point across isn't the way to do things. So no one's going to bring you back.
Didn't he opt out of his contract?
I don't even remember. At this point, there's so much crap out there. And every time a quarterback goes down, you see these people white knighting why you don't sign Kaepernick. So I just want all of you to know
Because
we're
he's
Kaepernick
a douchebag.
fans. And he hasn't played in 2.5, 3 seasons. You don't bring a quarterback in that you just don't.
Even if he was good, let's just say he was good still. He's suing the NFL. If I work at Taco Bell and I'm suing that store, I'm not gonna work there while I'm suing them. How does that make any sense at all to anybody? I don't even know if he wants to play anymore. Like, I mean, is that even part of his goals?
I don't know anymore. I just hate when I see, Sanchez sucked. They should have brought in Kaepernick. It's like, this just in. He would have. You know what? Someone should sign him and have him show up and just blow dick.
That would be funny.
Yeah, like someone like let's see, who's like 2-10. Like, let's say Rosen goes down for the Cardinals. The Cardinals should bring in Kaepernick and just watch him blow dick.
The thing is, like, you know how like what if he showed up and he was actually like really good for 2 games? It would start such like a race war. Like,
yeah.
You would get so many fucking BLM movement people just being like, "Told you so!" Like, because
the thing is though, is he could still have it in him.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. Like, the problem is they wouldn't comprehend. Like, that's not what the purpose. Like, the dude is suing the NFL. The dude is a major distraction, which it happens to people all the time. But that wouldn't be the talk. That would be the talk. It would just make things like way worse. Like, I feel like you just wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the problem with the BLM though. What happened on there, right? So Baltimore Ravens start a black quarterback. Carolina Panthers start a black quarterback. Cowboys start a black quarterback. Houston Texans start a black quarterback. Kansas City Chiefs start a black quarterback.
We need more.
The Saints have a backup one. Giants, Jets, Raiders, Eagles, Steelers. Okay, so the Tampa Bay Bucks start a black quarterback. Tennessee Titans start. What's Mariota? Hawaiian?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's not enough Hawaiians in the NFL, dude. Only one.
So
32 teams. In 32 teams, only one quarterback is Hawaiian. That's not fair.
I always thought it would be funny to, like, let's say, what's the dude's name for Carolina, the running back?
McCaffrey.
Yeah, what if it's like, you would never see a record like most rushing yards by a white running back. Like, you would never see that. You fucking see that shit all the time for, like, like a white dominated activity. And then they throw out actually they do it for quarterbacks all the time. They'll say, like, not necessarily now, but 10 years ago when there weren't as many black quarterbacks, it would be like, he now is the number 1 leader of all black quarterbacks in attempted passes. And it's just like,
that shouldn't even be a
why
stat.
would you
why
even
bring it up?
Why would you want to be like, if you were the black dude that just did that, like, would you be like, what the fuck does that even, like, because then they'll sit, there's just this whole equality thing, and then when you just say something that just like, well, are we not equal, or like, what's fucking good? Like, this is we're talking about abuse, fucking race, man.
You know what's the bad part? I shouldn't say bad part, but
did you find the worst picture of Jimmy?
I just typed in Chaos X Silencer and grabbed the picture.
Come on, dude, give him some respect.
All right, well, I'll switch it. One sec. People are gonna be sitting there and being like, 2 white guys from Washington talking about race and abuse. They don't get it. Well, hey,
we're privileged, dude.
So find it. Dude, I just picked the first one from his Google search.
That's definitely an old picture. He's lost a lot of weight since then. What if it was like posted on Instagram yesterday?
Here's his default. What's funny is if you type in Chaos X Silencer on Twitter, so much T Martin stuff comes up. It's weird.
They're butt buddies though.
But it's more stuff like, yeah, weird. I don't know. I don't know why.
Man, this is an awkward podcast because we just don't have the crew.
Well, could be after you talk to Burns. Could be what it is, man.
Yeah, I wonder what Burns is. Burns is probably just sitting there. Fuck. Like, yeah, I don't think we've said stuff before, and I don't think he fully grasped that. Hey, this could be a possibility. It's crazy that this is episode 198. I feel like we just started.
Yeah, today's Ari's 1-year-old birthday party. Everyone wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Arya.
I'm not coming back.
Hey, let's call Ken.
All right, Adam. I'm fixing Jimmy's picture.
Oh, how do I even add him though?
He's gonna send him the Zoom.
Can you do it since you can do it on your computer?
Yeah, let me fix this Jimmy picture.
We'll get Ken's opinion.
No.
So apparently I streamed on Friday night. I had a little much to drink there.
Yeah, Kyle didn't even remember streaming.
I didn't remember streaming at all. I mean, I kind of did. I remember Rachel yelling at me for swearing. But outside, because me and Rachel could have been that, we could have been the people. She could have fucking threw shit at me. She's pregnant, kids here. I went out there, BAM! I was thinking, like, what if this is fake? But then I'm like, that's a pretty crazy thing to fake.
You saw that the dude faked. You saw that the dude faked. He looks like Travis Scott, and he got a girl that looked like Kylie Jenner, or got a girl with just like a big butt, and he made it look like Travis Scott cheated on Kylie Jenner, and all these pictures went out, and the tabloids went and everything. And everyone ran with it, and he came out with like his part. He was like, just a fucking prank. And then it's like, wait, you can't just like try and ruin someone's life and be like, just a fucking prank, dude.
But that's actually kind of funny, though. It wouldn't be funny. I mean,
so he got the idea from the dudes that did the Justin Bieber one. That got a Justin Bieber lookalike and had him eat the burrito sideways, and then that went super viral. So he was like, I got to one-up that and be like, Travis Scott's cheating on his girl, you know? Like,
yeah, but like I can laugh at that, though. But it'd be hard to really justify, like, I just pranked hitting my wife.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't using that in the same context.
Yeah.
Burns just asked me literally as I sent that, so what's the plan? In a private message.
Why does he keep hitting you with a private message?
Because I think he thinks I'm nicer than you.
Just say,
once again, we have no problem if Burns wants to do the show. He just halftime just doesn't show up. I'm gonna see if it is the light on this while we're waiting for Ken.
Ken's popping in here. But yeah, this is kind of just a farewell episode. Me and Colby really want to take kind of shit to the next level. We live next to each other. There's a lot of opportunity that we can have to just like kind of switch it. I think it's just your TV. There's a lot of opportunity we have to kind of like switch it up. And I've looked at some of kind of the older episodes, and we actually had structure and things of that nature. But what we're doing on PTFO is pretty cool, where we kind of just like break down a video and whatnot. So we actually want to like, and if we can't, switch it up and torque things up a little bit, then who knows? Maybe we just shut down shop all together. Maybe what we do with the PTFO live stream from a long time ago, we just hand it off to random people. But what I will promise you is we're gonna get a guest. We're gonna get a guest for Thursday, and see if we can fuck with him a little bit or something. How's it looking there?
I'm turning the backlight down. I think that's what's killing me. Looks like.
You got him a new picture. Holy fuck! He looks like Terminator now.
Look at this backlight, dude. It was the backlight that was killing me. Look at this thing. He's starting to come into frame right now. Look at this, dude.
Jeez.
Sorry, Jimmy. I had you backlit all effed.
So, let's just, last thing with Burns. Like, he's not actually off yet. I'm going to talk to him after this. I'm going to say, dude, you got to fucking be there. It's every Monday, every Thursday. It's no fucking secret.
I think he needs to do a rant video a week for us too, for the PTFO page.
Yep.
Nala, you fucking dog.
But
all right, that looks a lot better, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, it's Monday. I gotta get shit ready for snow. You ready to shut down shop?
Wait, we just sent Ken the link.
Oh, is he coming?
I have no idea. I just sent the link. He said he needed a couple minutes to get down somewhere.
Remember when we had like 16 people in here? It was such a shit show episode, and people did not like it. I mean, maybe the people on the show did.
I never thought about it from an audio standpoint. That was probably like
I would just I would just turn the shit off.
I want to go back to the structure thing. I went back and looked at an old episode, and I was like, not that the structure was bad, but there's like it was like really awkward because we were like, "Oh, did you see this?" And then two of the people were like, "No, did you?" And the other guy was like, "No." And it was like, "Sweet, good topic. Next." Well, says,
your camera looks even better.
We'll wait one more minute for Ken. There's also a 0.0% chance that this baby is still sleeping because UPS just came to the door. Hopefully with the part. Speaking of Ken, excuse me, another nasty little throat clear there. Ken is saving me potentially about $800 more on my furnace because we did it the do-it-yourself way. We fixed one of the problems. The next problem, so we got it from the part from the site, watched the video and everything. On the site, it's really cool. It says, like, if you buy this part from us for $33, it will save you. And it says, like, how much, like, a person would charge you to do it. This part right here is $280. The other one was, like, $190. These parts are, like, $30, man.
What?
I had to go to Home Depot to buy $3 worth of fuses. Not fuses, like terminals things. So I actually split wire like I used to when I was doing car speakers. Pretty proud of myself.
You took the little plastic ends off?
Yeah, that's all I had to do. But so I had to put the different connector on there because the other connector was like mashed onto the thing like a stupid thing. So I caught myself.
So what was I saying on the stream? Because I couldn't listen to it because I was playing music the whole time.
No, Ken will be better at doing that. I was more laughing. I said it like probably 20 minutes before he did, and I was like, "Hey, it might be time to kill your stream." And you were like, "Don't fucking tell me what to do." Like, and then you had a song playing, but it was like a Drake song, but you were singing a completely different song.
Oh my god, dude! I seriously don't remember any of this.
You were singing. Me and all my doing well, dog.
Oh my god!
Singing, but that wasn't.
This was before you came to my house.
Yeah, and then you kept being like, "You ain't even gonna come, you soft puss! Like you ain't even gonna come over." And then you died.
How did I get like that?
So when you died and Rachel came in, you just yell as loud as you probably could. You were just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
See, I remember that. I remember that part.
You broke your controller.
I also remember that because I didn't break it, but the
grip or something.
It's the stick, but man, I don't know how I got. I mean, I know how I got hammered because I
then you said I stole $79 from your house.
I didn't blame it on you. I was just Rachel said it was there, and she wasn't like that, like serious about it the next day. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, there's not that many options for the money being gone. But I was more just telling you because I mean, there's only one option in my head. But I didn't think a 5-year-old would steal $80. They don't have a concept of $80, you know?
Yeah, no. And I knew that you weren't saying like, hey, I think you stole this because you also knew that I would steal something for $3 because I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
But yeah, so apparently on Friday I had a buddy say, hey, we're going to get lunch. And I'm like, God damn it. Like this productive day just went downhill real fast because I knew we'd be drinking with like 5 dudes. But I just shouldn't have drank just straight doubles and then went and brought the Grey Goose over and just had more doubles. I mean, dude, I do remember mixing some of the drinks at Jared's house, and like they were, you know how I mix the drinks, man. They were fucking immaculate, dude. But I don't know at what point like I would have like been like, hey, let's stream. This is a great idea. Like
you texted us to get on.
Was I already streaming when you got on?
Yeah, when I got on, you were already streaming.
Jesus Christ.
And then hold on, I'm scrolling up here. Oh yeah. So here we got Ken. Yeah, Ken can break it down.
Yeah, Ken.
At 3:27, Ken goes, Kyle, you gonna be on for a while? And I wrote WTF, and then I was like 3:27. I text Kyle asking when he'd be home. and then we get on, and you were already streaming.
Why do you let me do that, Ken?
Hey man, no, you hit that button, bro. You didn't even you just hit it. We were halfway through the game, and you're like, oh shit, I just hit the stream button. Look out! And we were like, bro, no, and you were like, too late.
Oh my!
I told him that we told him to get off for like 20 minutes, and then he finally was just like, probably should get off now.
Man, I haven't had a blackout like I wouldn't say it was blacked out because there's bits and pieces, but like I do remember I remember hitting my controller down me losing the thumbstick and looking for it for a little bit. I remember Rachel yelling at me a little bit.
Well, that's because she came in and because you were using some very appropriate language for 18 years old and above, and she was not thrilled because she came in and yelled at you and then slammed the door.
Yeah, she slammed the door on the way out.
Jesus.
But to Kyle's defense, he did not do what Homeboy did and then
slap her,
shit out of her.
Exactly,
yeah.
that's what we were already talking about.
That's how it all led into this.
It could have been way worse.
It could have been, and this is, we won't go down that path, but yeah, that guy's an idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot, and even with the circumstances where I would typically say like, hey, you fucking touch me, bitch, I'm gonna give you a little something. You don't do that to a pregnant woman or in front of your kids.
Oh, dude, the kid crying in the background was the worst part.
Yeah,
that was the worst
that's
part.
That's like the heartstring on all of it, where the dude's fucked. Like, his, I don't know what his work life or anything is like that, but there's literally millions of people that have the wife's back right now, even though she was the cunt to begin with, in my opinion. But
he's getting Ray Rice for sure.
Oh,
yeah, he's getting Ray Rice.
I don't know what Ray Rice's bitch said to him in that elevator that warranted that right hook, but without with the video, he's done. He's done.
Well,
he's done.
But you have to have a major issue with you if you at least don't hit the stop button first.
Oh, for sure. Oh, what an idiot.
Like, you at least gotta fucking hit the stop button or turn your mic off. If he would have turned his mic off, like, he would have looked, it wouldn't have made him look as bad, But
At what point do you not turn your shit off?
Yeah.
That's what we were saying. We were saying that same thing. If Alita came in here and started hucking shit at me, I'd be like, all right, I gotta go. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, at what point do you justify, like, all right, well, this could get good, I'm gonna leave this on? Like,
now I only seen it up to the point where like she fucked off and then he was like back to streaming. Now the question is, did he get the victory or no?
No, he ends up dying in the storm.
Oh.
15
No.
Yeah, he ends up dying in the storm.
Man.
And then he
Would've
throws
been more fitting.
his computer or his keyboard down and goes back out there.
What if he took second? That would have been the only justification. Like, that's how you know there's a god. Like, he gets second.
Oh, that'd be
did he go back for seconds after he lost?
I don't know when the clips are all, the timeline is just weird because I had never seen that first one till today when the box goes flying at him. That was just conveniently left out of the video I saw.
Of course it is.
See, I saw the whole piece from the get-go.
Is he forgiven if he gets the victory royale? Like, are we on his side?
Yeah, dude,
anything for a victory, dude. I'll do pretty much anything for a victory royale.
Imagine the title of his thumbnail, like getting beat up by a pregnant wife while getting victory royale.
Right,
dude. But what? It's hard for me to laugh at this. I feel like I can laugh because, to me, it's not this dude. To me, is not some monster. He's got a little something off by not stopping his stream. But the wife was 100% the instigator. Not just once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. She was fucking relentless. And she
did not go away. He did tell her to fuck off.
She physically touched him. But most times I'd be like, fuck that, she's getting a bitch slap. This time I would not, because she's pregnant. You can't fucking put your wife through stress like that while she's pregnant, right in front of your kids. Maybe fucking turn off the Xbox, wait for the kids to go to sleep. I mean, she'll still be pregnant, but what kind of what I was telling Colby is what threw me off is she literally goes, not in the face, or something about in the face, almost like they had this like fight agreement to not hit each other in the face, and that's where he stepped over the line. It was kind of like that. Kind of threw me off.
you don't fight like this for the first time either. Like
That's
this was a serial fight, probably that has happened since the beginning of their relationship.
And
I said the
I
same
think
thing. I
there's
said he had to have. You don't just escalate to a 10 out of 10. Like go and
No.
just slap a pregnant chick. Like there's definitely been something. We also used the example of like Greg Hardy hearsay, throwing on guns, blah 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 blah, versus and Frank Clark versus like Kareem Hunt, who will now probably never play again. When you would argue, if you had to make an argument,
Right.
that both of those stories are way worse than what Kareem Hunt did.
Yeah, and I was also telling, like, I don't think the dude comes home after work and his dinner's not made and he just fucking punches his wife. He's not, to me, he wasn't, it's more like an, how do I say, like, an escalation type thing where, like, this dude, like, I don't think he's the type of dude that would just fucking hit first. Like, if you're sitting there trying to game and somebody's throwing shit at you, allegedly hitting you and just telling you to get off, like, shit happens in the heat of the moment, especially when you've been hit first.
Right. Where was this guy at? Where is he from?
Australia.
Oh, I don't know how shit was. See, like in the States, if that were to be here, and so the cops come for a DV, they're both getting hauled off.
Oh, yeah.
Like they were both physically. You see the video. CPS is coming. They taking the baby. They're taking the baby.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're both going down. They're both going downtown. But of course, our public opinion, he's done.
But even in that sense, though, like, it was like the internet, though, it's like the side is already over. And I do see people coming out now and saying, like, well, but she did this first. Like, that's the problem is people go pitchfork mode and then they
Right.
start to analyze it like they should have from the get-go, you know?
For sure.
But I still don't think he should. I mean, it was sometimes I say, like, if she hits you first, like, don't fucking kill her. But, like, sometimes you got to send a message to quit fucking doing that shit. Like, when my kids won't listen to me and they don't stop doing, I'll give them an ass pinch or a spank. Like, then they get the fucking clue. Sometimes you got to do that with your, I don't know, fuck that. Sometimes you just got to, send that message.
And send them nudes.
So, Kyle, you're not on the Bovada My Bookie, but Colby, have you got in on this Miss Universe pageant coming up here on Sunday?
No, I seen your picture. This is crazy. So for sports betting fans, Ken is who we like to call a degenerate. Not because he bets a ton of money on it, like, oh, I got to double down and win it, because he also is the guy who bets over $200 on the hot dog eating contest. So now Ken is betting on Miss America, and listen to this. Miss Universe or America?
Miss Universe. So it's world competition. They, one country sends a beautiful individual with inside and out to the contest. This year is going to be the first year. It's going to be changing. So Miss Spain is sending the heavy favorite now to win in Vegas. When it first dropped and I got into it, it was plus 1,600. Vegas has dropped it to, I believe, plus 475 last time I checked for Miss Spain. And the bet is, will the next Miss Universe 2018 legally have been born a male at birth?
And she has. Miss Spain.
And she has.
What?
So this is, I basically took Miss Spain over the field.
Well, she's going to win
Miss-
just because of that.
It's 2018,
So
dude.
that's
So I-
100% she's going to win.
That's why Ken bet it at 16.
That's why I bet it. Yep.
So if you bet $100 at 16 to 1, you'd win $1,600.
You
Boom.
should have bet 1,000.
I know. Fuck. I know.
It's
Don't
such
see
a
this.
That's such a degenerate bet to drop a K.
So if you
on
dropped
Miss
1,000, it'd be
Universe.
16,000, right?
16 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
think
my
Ken did
mom's
too.
birthday on Sunday. So I told her that if I win, I'll split the winnings with her.
Nice. There you go. That's just the
That's
way to give back.
classy. And so like I'm gonna be rooting for Miss Spain. I'm her biggest.
So
fan,
is it
that's for sure.
So what are we clarifying the Miss Spain as, a transsexual?
Yeah, I mean, her pronoun, I believe, it'd be she is what
Well,
I
it would
believe.
have to be. So
Yeah.
we recently as males won Woman of the Year, and we're gonna win Miss Universe. That's a
Yep.
beautiful. That's just fucking the world we live in. How is it?
Make Bruce great again, right?
So
Isn't that
what?
it
So
is?
hold on. What is her situation though? Like, does she just have a sex change, or
I see. That's the. I didn't do too much
I'm
research on
it.
her.
I'm on it.
Yeah,
Miss
I don't know if she
Spain.
went under the night. Well, it's Spain, so it's not regulated like it would be here. Outside of the U.S., you can pretty much do anything.
Oh my gosh, the top thing that comes up is gamblers are doubling down on transgender Miss Universe
See,
contestant. So it was born a man. This is a picture of him.
Is he hot as a dude and a woman? Would you fuck the woman side?
I would fuck the woman before the dude for sure.
I would hope.
I mean, you would never. You would never know.
But what is this situation? They just transformed. How is this fair? How does that make any fucking sense? How come I am not in the
There's a track and field guy who converted to a girl from another country, and they kept her out of the women's field for the 400 meters because she was like a dude still, but even though she took shots to like be.
How come a dude hasn't tried to join the WNBA yet?
That's gonna be coming. Well,
Isn't there a movie about that? Doesn't one of the
Wayne's brothers
brothers do that, right? Yeah.
Man, they got so many movies that would be just totally.
Oh my gosh! You know that Trump was the one that allowed it. Ken, your boy, dude.
What? No, he hates everybody. You know, there's
We
no
made
way.
this because you.
Are you just sitting out in the parking lot?
Yeah, I am.
Well, you could be our new guest or our new host.
Yeah, Kyle's talking to Burns after the show. I'm just gonna.
I ain't saving it for after the show. I got too much shit to do. He just makes me feel bad, and then I just say, "Okay, you're back in." And then a month from now, he's gonna fucking go dark for 6 days, and then come back with, "Well, my dog's cat ate a mouse." I got somebody refilling our propane. We ran out of propane on Friday, and it just completely dead. And they weren't open on the weekend, so I got homie out there filling it up. Keep it under 250.
Yeah, she is the favorite now. I'm trying to see when that she switched. I cannot find when she switched. Or
How is that?
No, well,
wait.
she said I started to identify as a female at like age 3, which I don't even think. So Bo's 3, and I don't think he has any idea what he is.
No, there's no way.
He
just
has
knows
no
that
clue
when
of
he gets to
his
pee
social
outside, he can now
surrounding.
piss over the fence with his stream. So he's
How
pretty
old
proud of
is
that.
Abel? How old's Abel?
5.
I don't think Abel at 5 would know. Like, hey, do you want to be a boy or a girl?
How ridiculous is the world we're living in, man? Somebody.
But
just-
let's root. I mean, good for this person for finding a loophole, man. Like, I have no problem with it. I have zero problem.
I would have a problem with it if I was also in the contest that this
That's
person
a
who
good point.
isn't a woman is gonna fucking dethrone all of us, mainly just for social reasons, not because is she actually sexier than the other ones? I doubt it.
No, and that's the thing. So I don't know. I know the Miss USA pageant, they got rid of the swimsuit competition.
Yep.
I don't think they have done it yet for the World Cup. So
Oh.
now what are we doing? You know what I mean?
But does he have a dinghy still?
I don't know. But then do you tuck
Yeah.
it? How do you tuck? I mean, do you tuck it? Do you tape it? Like,
How is
if I'm out there in like some, that's the thing. Like, if I'm out there in like something kind of like, you know, women's underwear is probably kind of soft, feels kind of good. Then you're out there with like, I don't know, 250 countries in the world's hottest women. Like, I'm taping that shit.
Yeah, this
That's
is.
all I'm
this
saying.
is I'm
You
gonna be
have to.
tuning into this here.
I know Sunday is gonna be lit. I cannot.
It's on
wait.
Sunday.
It's Sunday. I think it'll be. We might. I'll probably have to stream it because like West Coast is always on later, and I don't want spoils. I think it's
Yeah.
on at like 4 p.m. our time and 7 p.m. Pacific. I don't really know how it works though. I have to look at the times.
Yeah,
But
we
I went
definitely
all
can't
in
get
on
it
that.
spoiled because that's definitely not worth it.
Oh, I
What a
want the
weird
like the exact
situation,
moment
man.
it wins. She
Uh,
wins.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to go back, not right now, but I want to go back and look up the track and field situation because I don't remember exactly what happened, but it's very similar where the guy identified as a girl and took like what's the word that you can get shot in you to make you like a chick?
Like an estrogen shot.
Yeah, estrogen shot. So he was taking the estrogens and shots and everything too, but he was winning by like 50 meters, and they were like, "No, you can't do it until you're a girl." Or she was winning by 50
It's
meters
just ridiculous that you're able like.
from like Trinidad and Tobago.
Does
or
not
something.
anybody see the flaws in this whole fucking system? Like, and that's just sports and stuff. Like, does nobody see the flaws? Like, it's. I mean, it's cool. Like, whatever. Switch it up to
Sure,
whatever you
sure.
want to roll with. But like, like you gotta ban them from sports. Like, you gotta fucking ban. Like, especially when it goes from the, I guess the beginning of life male trying to play these female sports. Like, doesn't that piss you off as a female that Bruce fucking Jenner won Woman of the Year? Like, how?
Guys, I got a spoiler alert. This Ken's looking at the picture.
Whoa.
This
That looks
person,
like RG3.
so this person I'm telling this story about this whole time about how they got banned. She was banned in 2009. I'm way off on my dates. The South African middle distance runner is the 2016 Olympic gold medalist. She won.
That's a
She
girl.
won. Yeah, she won the 2016 Olympic gold medalist, and she is the current world champion and set a new personal best of 155.
So the
one-
IOC is cool with it then.
So, but this picture you sent is this from a meme or something? You notice how their name tag says Seaman Yeah?
That's her name. That's her name.
What
is
a
Seaman, yeah.
fucking perfect
Seaman,
name. Seaman,
so-
fuck yeah.
So 2009 is when she did the transition. 2010 she was denied. 2011 she was denied. 2012 she was allowed but didn't win. 2015 is when the testosterone rule changed. The IAFF policy for that word that Ken said. So she took shots to lower her testosterone.
So
to
as
the
long
right
as her
level.
testosterone was that equal to an everyday born female,
Yep.
then you can compete. Fuck, dude.
800-meter champion 2017. She ran a 155. The male, if she was
You just
still
get
a
ripped.
dude-
You just get ripped and then lower your testosterone for the tests, and then
I got she got beat. She would have got beat. She would have got beat by 14 seconds in the males race.
This
but
is,
that's in the what? In what
In
event?
800 meters, that is very far behind. That means
That's-
when they finished the race, she would have been around the straightaway at halfway through the corner, most likely.
Right.
Not
Woof.
to laugh at her, she'd still beat my personal best time by 4 seconds.
that's just, yeah, this is fucking weird that we have to.
But it doesn't. So look at that, Colby. Then your personal best when you were not training for the Olympics, you were just playing in college.
Yeah.
You would have been on the medal stand potentially in the Olympics.
Oh, and that's for that. If I would have done my 400 meter, I could have made it. I could have won.
Well, and that's the craziest thing too. And like, unbelievable. See
Women's
right there. That's
400
Exhibit A.
meter.
You were nowhere near medaling at the Olympics yet.
Oh, I couldn't even have made. I didn't even win my division. I didn't even win my team.
But
But
isn't
you
it,
would have potentially could have trained with what they have and medaled at the Olympics.
Yeah.
so basically they judge male or female by like levels of whatever chemical,
Testosterone.
Somebody's at my door. One sec.
Yeah. And that's what. So in 2000, whatever year I said, that's when they fixed it. Okay, so here we go. This is the world record progression. This doesn't really help me that much, but that's actually kind of crazy. So yeah, I was trying to see how close I would have been, but this is not.
We got propane.
This Wikipedia link sucks.
So they basically just level on levels of like your chemicals, but it's just like, well, they've had a male body their whole life. It's going to develop differently just because it, changed some chemicals up for 6 months,
That's what I'm saying. So you just get ripped and do all that training as a male with high testosterone levels. How long? I mean, obviously I'm not a biochemist. I maybe is what it would be, or scientist. But like, how long does it take your estrogen levels to drop? Like.
Yeah, and I mean,
Is
I'm
it
sure
4
they
years or is it 6 months? I mean,
Yeah, I'm
shit.
sure they know that, and I would think factor into it, but who fucking
Like, is she
knows?
taking like weekly tests over the course of 2 years? There's got to be something like that.
I just got to put it in perspective one more time. On July of 2017, so last year, Allison Felix, who everyone sees in the Nike ads, she is a 6-time Olympic champion. and she set the record for the year at 49.72. I ran a 47.1. So I would win by 2 seconds if I could lower my levels. Well, not nowadays, but at my peak.
Let's do a test. Maybe that's our video. Let's do a test. See if we can transform.
Yeah,
you.
we get Colby estrogen shots and see if he can run faster in a minute.
Yeah, I think that's the only way we can do it now.
I would do it just to get my own titties. Like, I fucking love titties. No,
I think that's how it works.
If someone tunes in this podcast with all the topics, they're gonna be like, "This is one weird ass."
We took some twists and turns. It was a little awkward at the beginning, talking about the co-hosts that are no longer co-hosting. We can give Jimmy respect for now. Burns could be here, but we'll see. They'll say the only way he can be on the show is if he moves to Washington.
I like this. I approve of it.
I got it right in his eyeball. Look at that.
All right, let's shut down this shit. Thanks for coming on the show, Ken. Ken
made some great Ebel Skibbers for me yesterday.
Ebel Skibbers, man. Ebel Skibbers. Come on.
That too. Ebel Skibbers.
Thanks for saving me from my death stream, guys.
It's always a pleasure, man.
Bye.
We ride with you, we die with you, dude.
Yeah, we were ride or die. Bad boys.
Bye. My asshole needs washed.
Dude.